Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. And today I want to talk about why so many people are having a hard time finding love out there. Now, I need to clarify something because there's so many people that just don't get it, okay? You don't find love, okay? Love is something that you create with somebody else. It's something that you build together. And it comes in time, okay? You don't love somebody instantaneously because you like the way they look. Oh, I love him or I love her. No, you lust them, but that's not love. Love is something that you experience with somebody else. In other words, you've experienced different things in life together, and you've both shown each other that you are sacrificing for the other person. So let's talk about why is it so difficult to find someone to be able to create this love with them? Because number one, okay, we talk about social media. Yeah, everybody knows social media gives more options. So people are in inboxes. You have a hookup culture out there. Sex is so easy out there. And what do we know about love? Love takes work. And there's a lot of people that want to take what's easy, okay? They don't want to have to work at something because you know what? They don't realize that anything worth anything in life takes work, okay? If something has value, it takes work, okay? And this is what everybody doesn't understand. Yeah, you may go out there, you may have a good time, you may have plenty of sex and have multiple partners, but after a while, guess what? You're still alone, okay? After a while, nobody cares about you for the most part because they're doing their own thing and you are nothing to them, okay? All you are is somebody that, you get physical with them, but they don't care if you're sick. They don't care if you're down and out. They're not there, later on when you may need somebody, okay? And this is what a lot of people don't realize, but they will realize it. That I can promise you. They will realize it as they get older, okay? That's the way life works, okay? Because unless you have a strong support system, okay? That's why a lot of people, when they get older, they usually rely on either a spouse or they rely on their children, okay? But when you're younger, you don't think about these things, okay? Because you think like, oh, I'm young, I could live forever and everything like that. Well, you know what? In a blink of an eye, the years go past, and then you're older and you're in a different stage of life where you have to think about these things because it doesn't get easier as you get older. It gets harder. It gets harder for a lot of different reasons, okay? It could get harder financially. It could get harder because you may have a health issue or somebody in your family might have a health issue. So the point I'm trying to make in all this, when we talk about why is it so hard to find somebody to create love with, because the availability and the options, the supply and the demand, and a lot of people out there are looking for instant gratification. Now, the people that aren't looking for that instant gratification, the people that are actually serious about trying to meet somebody, a lot of these people are getting burnt, okay? They're getting played, they're getting manipulated, and they're getting burnt. And these kind of people can go one of two ways. Either one, they become a player as well, and they say, well, you know what? I'm just going to play these guys the way they played me. And they go out there. You have women out there doing the same thing, going out and playing around and having a good old time, all right? Or vice versa. Or you have the other people that say, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to date at all. Like, I'm done with dating. I'm just going to work on me and try to better myself, right? And then I need to add one other category in this. You have the person that is out there that may be trying to date, but they're scarred from everything that they've been through. Okay? They're scarred, and it's very difficult for them to be in a relationship with somebody because of all the trauma that they have been through by dealing with manipulative type of people, playing them to get some kind of benefit off of them. Could be sex, it could be money, it could be anything. So my point is this, and this goes for male or female, it goes both ways. What you have out there is a lot of broken, damaged people, okay? So it's very difficult when you're out there and you're trying to find somebody that doesn't have any hang-ups. Like we had this in the group. Some guy put up a post and he was like, are there any women out there that don't have any hang-ups, that aren't, heartbroken about their ex, and, they're not still talking about their exes, or they're still, they're emotionally available and this and that. Like, there's a lot of people that are not emotionally available to be in a relationship because they haven't healed from what they've been through, or they don't understand what they've been through, okay? A lot of people think that it's them. A lot of people, because they've been played, take it personally and think that it's them, and don't realize that no, you got involved with the wrong person. The red flags were there. You either recognized them and ignored them, or you didn't recognize them. And that's where educating yourself is so key. That's one of the reasons that I have this podcast, is to educate people, to make them aware of these kind of things, because we don't want people out there that are broken, that are hurt, that are depressed. Because you know what? When you do decide you want to be in a relationship, you want to be with somebody who's emotionally healthy and happy and healed, okay? So this is exactly what's going on today. But I need to also add one little thing here. There are people out there that are looking sincerely to find somebody, but the point is, they're very far and few between, you guys. And it's not just that. Like I've told you before, relationships are very, very complex. This is what people don't understand. And if you've ever been married and you've been through something, you will understand what I mean by relationships are complex, okay? And I really think it takes somebody who's been in a very long relationship, or somebody who's been married, to really understand this, okay? Or even people that have been divorced, they understand that relationships are complex. Why are they complex? Because you have a lot of factors going on. You have their family, you have your family, you have a lot of outside things as well. Are you both on the same path? Do you both have the same, views on things, whether it comes to religion, how you're going to raise your children? What kind of things do you like? Do you have compatibility? Okay? Are you dealing with somebody who likes to go out when you like to stay home? Are you dealing with somebody who's a spender and you're a saver? Are you dealing with somebody who's lazy and you're a hustler? You see what I mean? It's not just, oh, they're a nice person and they're good looking. No, okay? That's why so many people end up like in bad relationships or toxic relationships or anything like that, because they're not really looking at this person and really, you got to pick this person apart. And the reason that I say this is because you're talking about your life. And if you get wrapped up with the wrong person, number one, you waste your time, okay? And wasted time, that's a piece of your life that you lost with the wrong person when you could have been with the right person. But the other thing too is you have to keep in mind too, if you have low boundaries, okay, you're going to get tangled up with the wrong people as well, okay? Boundaries are so important. Boundaries are the key to a healthy relationship. So when I say boundaries, what I'm trying to say is this, all right? So many people give second, third, fourth chances to somebody. No. When we talk about boundaries, you've got to be very clear with the person in the beginning and talk about, what you expect from them, what you're willing to give to the relationship, where you want to go with the relationship. You have to have goals within your relationship. Every relationship should have goals that you and your partner work on together, whatever goals it could be, where you want to be, what you want to work on, how you want to spend your free time, okay? Because a lot of times people are not on the same path. And this is another reason that relationships break up. And the other thing that I want to bring up as well, when we talk about relationships and everything like that and finding love, if you get involved with somebody and, you allow them to break your boundaries all the time, you allow somebody to disrespect you, okay? You better put that boundary up and say, don't you ever disrespect me again, okay? And if they do, you've got to be prepared to walk away. You've got to be prepared to walk away, because if you don't, your power goes down, okay? And this person's going to run with it. It's going to happen again, all right? So you have to let somebody know that, you know what? I'm telling you, and I'm being serious with you. If you break my boundary again, if you disrespect me in the way that you're disrespecting me, you and I will not be together. Now, if that person doesn't care and they go ahead and do it again, then guess what? They don't respect you. And if they don't respect you, they can't love you, okay? Or maybe you're dealing with a narcissist that doesn't care and is all about themselves, okay? So one of the most important things when we talk about, why can't so many people find love out there and everything like that? That's because, too, a lot of people don't want to put the work in and sacrifice. Now, you get a lot of false people out there. You get a lot of fake people. You get a lot of narcs out there that try to give you the bullshit and say, yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, people have to learn how to, sacrifice and this and that. And this is a tactic. I got to make you guys aware of this. This is a tactic that a lot of narcs do, okay? What they try to do is they try to mirror you, and they'll say something that you want to hear, okay? And they'll say something to the effect of, yeah, why can't people be real out there and this and that? When in a sense, all they're doing is playing you. They're pretending to be something that they're not. And the only way, your only defense in that is to take your time and don't give anything to these people. In other words, if you have something that they want, you don't give it to them until they've earned it. And the way somebody earns it is in time, okay? This is how you protect yourself, and especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. A narcissist is going to try to get something out of you really quick. They're going to try to get something out of you like sex right away or money right away. And the worst, the thing that a narcissist hates is when you slow them down, okay? When you slow a narcissist down, they are not going to like it, because they're going to be afraid you're going to see them for who they are, a manipulator, somebody trying to manipulate you because they're basically users. They're trying to get some kind of supply. You have something that they want, and it's not love, okay? So here's my other tip for you when you're out there. When you're out there and you meet people, find somebody that is not going to benefit off something that you have, okay? In other words, make sure that they're on your level. I say this all the time. Find people that are on your level or above, okay? Because when you find people on your level or above, then you don't have to worry about them being with you, because they're going to benefit some way financially or another way, okay? And they're out there, okay? You have a lot of opportunists out there trying to take advantage of people. The tool of the narcissist is the love bombing, telling you they love you in the first month, second month, or whatever. Anybody does that or whatever, that is a huge red flag. You are dealing with somebody that is trying to con you, okay? So it's very difficult. You have a mixed bag of a lot of shit out there, okay, that you have to deal with. And you have a lot of broken people or bitter people or divorced people that have been through things. But you just have to weed through, okay? You have to weed through. And when you're out there, when you see that somebody, you see those red flags, that this person is not who they say they are, that's when you have to delete and block. There is no fucking second chances, okay? The minute somebody shows you that they are not transparent, you get rid of them, because that's just the tip of the iceberg of the crap you're going to deal with, okay? And it's going to come later on, all right? If somebody can't be transparent with you, You don't need to be dealing with somebody like that. And especially if you're going to get in a serious relationship with somebody, and especially if you're looking to, a serious relationship in the sense that maybe one day you'll marry them, or one day you'll mix money with them, or one day you'll have children with them. You need somebody who is transparent. And this is the key, you guys. This is the fucking key. Believe me when I tell you, I've lived enough life. I've seen enough, okay? And you need somebody who can be transparent, all right? Now, people say to me, how do you know when they're transparent? You're talking to them, they seem like they're telling you the truth and everything like that. Well, it's like I told you again. Yeah, they're telling you and they seem like they're telling you the truth. But where are you in the relationship? Is it month 1, 2, or 3? Then you can't take that as 100% truth. You've got to wait over a period of time. A period of time. Watch their behavior. Watch their actions. Watch when they give you excuses, okay? People that are full of shit, okay, will give you tons of excuses. That's another indicator and a huge red flag that you're dealing with somebody who's not being transparent with you. They'll give you excuses why they can't see you. They'll give you excuses why they didn't pick up their phone all night. They'll just give you a ton of excuses. They'll give you excuses why they can't add you to their social media. This is all fucking game, you guys. This is game. The minute that you see that this person, is shady or anything doesn't seem right, that's your first indicator that, you got to watch this cat and you got to see, is this person being upfront with you? And if you see that they keep doing the same thing, then you're dealing with somebody that you can't trust, all right? Now, there's a lot of people that play game because they want benefits out there. They don't want love. They don't want relationships. They just want to have fun. But they know that there's the other people out there that are looking for somebody to love and stuff like that. And these people will target you, okay? They will target you. So what I'm trying to tell you is this. Do not tell these people too much too soon in the beginning, okay? Because if you tell these people too much too soon in the beginning, they will mold themselves into the chameleon that they are and put on that mask to become what you are looking for and be, Prince Charming or Princess Charming, because now they know what you want and they're going to become that. And this is how the actors do it. This is how the actors do it, you guys, all right? I mean, it's really, to me, it's very pathetic when somebody has to go to that extreme, okay? Because they're looking for some kind of benefit, like to use you for money, use you for a place to live, use you for sex or something like that. To me, that screams you're dealing with a desperate motherfucker out there, okay? It's much easier to just go out and make your own than to have to put on this act, but you're dealing with somebody that's a user. Okay, you're dealing with somebody that's a user, and we all know there's plenty of users in the world, okay? So this is why I'm giving you guys a heads up. That's why you don't give anybody anything. You don't give them money. You don't let anybody live in your house until you've known them at least a year, okay? You don't bring anybody around your kids, all right? Because you don't know who these people are. They could have a criminal record. They could be a pedophile, and there's a lot of them out there too that target women that have kids and stuff like that. You have to be careful of these kind of things. So this is why I'm telling you, listen to me when I tell you, okay? The other thing is, when you meet somebody too, you have to look at where you're meeting these people, okay? When you meet somebody online, it's like you're not meeting that person face to face. It is so true. It is very different to meet somebody online than it is meeting somebody face to face. Because usually when you meet somebody online, they have a certain kind of mask up. It's not the same as, let's say you went into a grocery store and you met somebody off guard and, you see them right there and they're shopping, okay? When somebody hits you up online or you're on a dating app, they are already prepped for how they're going to approach you, okay? And this is where you have to watch out for these con people, okay? They're out there, they're hunting, right? So this is why, you know, you have to just weed, like I said, you've got to weed through. I mean, I'm a big proponent that I feel that you should not be stressing out and be hunting out, people or inboxes or anything like that, or forget the dating apps, okay? It's a joke today because we know it's all game on there. So what I feel is you just need to get yourself out more and around other people, or join interest groups or something like that, okay? Join something that you have something in common with somebody, all right? Whatever it is. Maybe you like music, take music lessons. Maybe you like fitness. You could take fitness lessons, yoga lessons. They have fitness boxing. They have all these kind of cool things you could do. And I guarantee you're going to meet people doing this. You've got a better shot of meeting somebody that way than you do with this online dating or online, okay? The other problem with this online business is when somebody hits you online, okay, and they hit your inbox, most of the time they're hitting your inbox and 10 other inboxes. Good morning, beautiful. After they send you that good morning, beautiful, they're sending it to 10 other people, okay? And they're seeing who bites. And then when they don't come back to you or whatever, it's because they're busy usually talking to somebody else, and then they come back to you. If you deal with anybody that, is not consistent, is flaky, or anything like that, just delete and block, because they are not worth your time. That's what more people need to do. If more serious-minded people would just delete and block these zeros, okay, they would realize they can't get away with this shit with certain people. You want to play those games with the idiots out there or the naive people that don't know, then be my guest. But when you're somebody that knows better and educates yourself, you don't tolerate that. Or you respect yourself, you don't tolerate that, okay? You've got to train people how to treat you. What you allow is what you're going to get back from them. And the problem is, and I'm going to say it like it is, the problem is when you allow people to treat you in a way where it's like, you do the friends with benefits or anything like that, they're not going to want to have a relationship with you, okay? Why should they? You allowed them to do that without them having to get to know you, all right? So your boundaries are low, and they know that. And when your boundaries are low, they're going to lose respect for you. This is what I'm telling you. In order to love somebody, you've got to respect that person, all right? And this is what's going on. There's a lot of people out there with low boundaries, just jumping around. And, the people that come into contact with somebody like that, they're not going to want to work for the relationship because they don't think the relationship's worth it. They feel it's more fun to just jump around and hook up and everything like that. But what they don't realize is that there's a lot of sexually transmitted diseases and HIV out there, okay? They don't realize that they could be catching that and COVID and everything else out there, all right? They don't realize that they're jumping into bed with somebody that could end up strangling them, and they could end up as a documentary on Dateline. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. And it does happen. And you need to be aware of this. And you need to value your bodies, okay? But, if somebody wants to do that, they want to, do the hookup thing or whatever, just make sure that you are with somebody who is safe. That you've checked them out and you've gone out with them a couple times, and you're sure that, you could trust this person. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys, because you pick up the paper all the time and they talk about how these people met on dating apps and they end up, dead. Okay. Oh, where'd they meet? They met on a dating app. All right. Dead woman in hotel, dead woman, in her apartment, or whatever else, okay? This is why I'm telling you, don't take these people at face value that, they were really nice. They stayed on the phone with me all night and everything like that. Remember this when I tell you, the devil never comes as your enemy. He comes as your friend, Okay, this is the con man. This is the narcissist. They are going to come on very charming to you. You've got to watch out for these people. They're out there, all right? They're out there. So, don't buy into the BS that some of these people may say, oh, we're both grown. We're both grown. Well, that's great. You could be grown and you could still be a psychopath. That doesn't mean I'm going to be, going to your place, because I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. All right. So this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. All right. And the other thing, too, you got to watch out is you go to somebody's place or whatever. They could have cameras up, be videoing you and uploading you onto the internet. Yeah, people do that, okay? So you got to be careful of that as well. So this is why I'm giving you guys this little, watch out kind of thing going on. But I kind of went off tangent here with why people are having such a hard time trying to find love or create love with somebody, because of all of the hookup culture, you guys, and the low boundaries. That's exactly why it's difficult to find somebody to make the sacrifice. But you know who makes the sacrifice for that relationship? Somebody who is very woke. Somebody who understands what life is. When somebody understands what life is and understands that, what? Life isn't always a party. Okay? Yeah, you could have your fun. Yeah, you could do that. But you know what? Eventually, there's a reason that people want somebody later on. They want a partner. You don't have to get married, but they want a partner. Okay? Because it's easier with two hands, or four hands rather, than just two hands. Because later on in life, you're going to have other things that you have to face. All right? And you don't want to be, the old man in the apartment or the old woman in the apartment, and like your kids are all grown and they're out, and your parents are gone, and you're sitting there, and, you have nobody to drive you, anywhere or anything like that, because you have health issues or whatever. Not to be morbid about this, but I see this go on, you guys. All right. I see this go on. So this is why I'm telling you, you have to plan ahead in your life. All right. You don't want to get to a point in your life that later on you're scrambling like, oh shit, I got to find somebody, everybody's married, or, everybody's involved with their own kids and everything. Nobody has time for me. Okay. So this is what I mean, because you don't want to be at that point where you're trying to find somebody. I mean, people do it, but I'm just saying it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder later on. Okay. So, and not only that, there's so much negativity to relationships that I see out there that they don't really show a lot of the positive things that a good relationship can bring when two people get together and two people are truly committed and they build together. They build a life for themselves where, maybe they're growing together, they're building a business together, maybe they're taking great vacations together, maybe they have children together and they're enjoying their children together. Or maybe they need somebody that they can talk to when they have a problem. They can confide in this person. This person can bring them up and lift them up and take out all the negativity that they're experiencing in their life and bring a light to them, okay? That's the whole purpose of having a partner, somebody that is going to lift you up, okay? It's like my father said to me a long time ago. Put people in your life that add to your life, not people that take away from your life. So when you're out there and you're meeting people, find somebody that you say to yourself, okay, this person will add to my life. And I don't mean financially. It doesn't necessarily have to mean financially. It could just mean that this person is somebody that could be your rock, your best friend, okay? That, if you need some advice, they give you a second opinion. If you're doing something wrong, they could steer you in the right direction to do the right direction. If you're working on something, maybe for your business or something, they might want to help you or give you ideas. In other words, This is your person that's your confidant, that somebody that is going to build you up with compassion and understanding and being able to sacrifice. And you have to really weed out to find these people, because these people are not easy to find. All right. These people, they're out there. They are out there. But, today we have the me society, not the we society. It's all about me, 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 me. Okay. But this is why I had to answer this question when I saw this, because I saw this somewhere else on social media where they were talking about, why are so many people single and everything like that? And they were saying, it's because men and women don't understand each other. They understand each other. See, I disagree with that. They understand each other. It's just that they're looking at it from different perspectives as to what they want. Okay. Now, I'm not saying all women want relationships, okay? There's a lot of women that don't, but there's a greater majority that probably do want relationships. And a lot of the men like their freedom. I mean, it's same thing goes. And it's like an opposite thing. Men and women are wired differently. Go listen to my podcast about that, about men and women are wired differently. It was an older podcast I did, and I talked about this, okay? So it's not that we don't understand what the other person wants. It's the fact that we're not on the same page as to what we want. And that's half the battle, is finding that person that truly wants the same things that you want. Okay. So in other words, you've got to weed out, take your time, move slowly, and get to know somebody. And when you see that the person is not being transparent, and they're, what they're telling you out of their mouth is not showing with their actions, then you're dealing with somebody who's not real, okay? And that's when you got to step back from that, because that person will waste your time, or you're going to end up, either getting used or in a bad relationship, all right? So I hope that helps you guys. If it did, please hit the subscribe button, and please share the podcast, and have a great day. Are you having a problem in your dating or relationship life and you need a question answered? Well, go to my website. The link is in the podcast description, and you'll see how you can ask Yaz a question and get it answered confidentially. So go to the podcast description and look for the link where it talks about how Yaz will answer your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to make you aware that the Game Exposed podcast now has their merchandise available. You can check out the link in the podcast description. There's hoodies, there's sweatpants, there's t-shirts, there's cool hats. So go check it out. Link is in the podcast description. And follow Yaz on Instagram at dating_advice_Yaz.